So after we've designed our spinner, we're going to create an assembly and an output file that we're going to submit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to File, New, Part. We're going to make a new part, and this is going to be our bearing so that we can do our assembly. So take a circle, and that's going to be 0.866. Finish. And then we're going to need to extrude it. How big did I say the bearing was? 0.275. So we'll extrude 0.275. So that can be our bearing, and then go ahead and say File, Save As. Bearing. And then we're going to go to File, New, Part. Now we need our hex nut, so we're going to do a 2D sketch again. Take this down to polygon, six-sided, done. Dimension from there to there to be 0.5, finish, and then we're going to extrude that out 0.25. All right. So there's our hex nut, and we can save that. Save as hex nut. All right, so now let's go into a new assembly. And then we're going to place, find our parts. So I saved those in H drive, Fidget, open, cancel. All right, so I'm going to need 3 of these. So what I'll do is I'll do copy, paste. That wasn't what was supposed to happen. Let's go back. Try that again. Copy, paste, there we go, and then paste one more time. All right, so now we're going to need to assemble this. So I'm going to put these guys in there and my bearing in there to make sure my holes are the right size and run my interference check. So I'm going to pause while I do that, since you guys probably don't need to see me do that again. Okay, I went ahead and colored things different colors so you can kind of see where things are. And then it occurred to me that you may not have done an insert connection before, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So in your assembly constraint tools, if you click on insert, you can find the middle of this and the middle of that, and then you can pop those together. So that's how you do an insert. Okay, so now I've got this together. We're going to highlight it, and we're going to go to inspect, analyze interference, make sure there's no interference, and then this is where we're going to make it any changes that you want to make to your design. So if we go over here to our basic design, we can kind of round the edges a little bit. So if we go to feature, we should be able to, not that feature, let's try that again. Let's try doing a loop. That's what we want. All right, so what we're going to need is something very small, so 0.01. See what that looks like. That looks like it's going to work. Let's try 0.02. Still going to work. 0.03. I think I like 0.02. Okay, take a look at what that looks like. So now we have nice rounded edges there. So flip it over here. do the same thing. So we're going to click loop 0.02. Check that out. You want to be careful if you do the inside because that's where your bearing goes, and if you cut too much off, you're not going to have much grip anymore to hold your bearing in place. So that's basically it. We want to make sure that our fidget spinner stays relatively small. So let's take a look at how big mine is here, because it needs to fit between your thumb and pincher finger and the inside of your hand there. So we're looking at, like, I don't know, we want to stay probably about 4 inches by 4 inches as max. So we can't get too big with these, or else it's going to be really hard to spin them. But there you go. That's our custom spinner. So our requirements here are that you create a custom fidget spinner that you've designed based on either a logo or a design, and it's evenly balanced. And then you've got an assembly that shows that everything's going to fit together. And then I promised you the last thing you want to do is get it ready to print. So we're going to go back to our main part file, and we're going to go up here and down to print, send to 3D print service. Oh, because we're in drawing mode. Let's try that again. File, print, send to 3D print service, and we're going to make sure that we are in inches. That all looks good. And then we're going to click OK, and it's going to ask us where you want to save it. And you can save it to the same file. It's going to be an STL file, though. That's the file that I need to be able to print. And then this is going to open. Don't worry about that. Just close that down. And then if I go to my H drive, to Fidget. So this is the one that I want to upload to Schoology. Is this one right here that says, well, has this little, like, paper with a certificate next to it. Okay, it says certificate trust list. That's the file I need to print off your spinner. But I also would like you to go to your assembly and do your analyze interference and take a nice screenshot with the snipping tool of that. So submit that as well so that I know that everything fits, so that when we print it, I'm not going to be wasting my time and material. So that's how you're going to do your assembly and submit that for 3D printing.